welcome back to another episode of Mystery Red Reads. I am your host, Mystery Red, and this is not working. This is my disclaimer. This beta read in Concrete is at the author's request. This video is for learning purposes. Today we're looking at a piece of original fiction. We are back with Crystal Committee for Chapter 10 of Infinite Shades, and we are going to dive right in. If you are interested in following any of the stories by the authors I am working with, I have playlists for several of them, including Crystal Committee. I've got one for No Ant 5039. I've got one for Ladybugs 88, and I've got one I do privately. So you can click on any of my playlists, and then you can find all of the reads that I've done for them. And with that, we're just going to get right in here. Chapter 10. Sam makes her way out of the bathroom, dressed for work. Amanda is passed out on her bed, the sheets around her in total disarray. The bed looks like a battlefield, covers twisted and abandoned. Sam's fingers twitch, wanting to straighten something, anything, but she freezes. It's not the mess that nags at her. It's the unfamiliar rhythm of it that makes her uneasy. She stands there, caught between two instincts, the urge to smile and the pull to fix something. Okay, hang on. I'm wondering something. I'm always curious about Sam and Amanda's relationship because they've been through so much together. And there was a part where in a couple chapters back where they were literally sharing a body, where Amanda's consciousness was kind of in Sam's head. And so we don't know all of what happened around that. And at one point, Sam was in really bad shape, and we don't know what happened with that either. But so whenever I read about them, I'm always curious about that relationship and what we're going to learn about it and the nature of it. So I can't decide if it's like sisterly, like is it like a work partner that you did not want in your head? I mean, is it intimate? What is it going to be? I'm just curious. So and we don't have, like, whatever it is, it's established because they've been through so much together, and maybe there isn't a name for that, but at the same time, they know what it is, and Crystal Committee knows what it is, and I'm still waiting to find out. So anyway, those were all reader musings. Nothing to change here. We got a nice opening. Let's get back into it. Sam brushes the thought aside. Digging too deep into this now would only drive her crazy. Besides, there are more immediate things to worry about, like Amanda burning up in her sleep. What? Literally burning up? Because, anything's game here. Sam pulls the blanket tight across her bed, the corners crisp, as if smoothing out the wrinkles in her own thoughts. The gun safe swings open with a metallic sigh, and the weapon settles into its place on her belt like it belongs there. Flipping open her credentials, she smiles with a flicker of accomplishment before tucking them into her pocket. For a moment, everything feels normal, like I'm getting ready for another day, if only. Okay, so I wonder about this for a second. Let me read this line. For a moment, everything feels normal, like I'm just getting ready for any other day, if only. When I read the first half, okay, there's nothing wrong. I'm having a musing, and I'm just going to let it play out. So when I read this part that I've highlighted here, for a moment, everything feels normal. When I read it in context with the flow of the rest of the paragraph, it kind of felt like I was still in the third person view. I don't know. Are we in Sam's? Yeah, we're in third. So I'm sorry. I've been reading for so many people. I have to get my what tense are we writing in, and what point of view are we writing in? But I just need to make sure I reestablish that in my mind early on here. And then when I read it, it just kind of flowed with the rest of the paragraph. And so I didn't read it as, yes, we're with Sam, and yes, we're in her point of view, but it wasn't a direct thought. Yeah, that's what it is. When I read this kind of felt like part of the rest of the paragraph and not like a direct thought. And then when she immediately says that's a direct thought to me. So when she says, like, I'm just getting ready for another day, if only. So I like the whole thought thing, though. I like it. For a moment, everything feels normal. Like I'm just getting ready for another day, if only. So I like it, but when I read it, I did have that thought that this flowed well with the rest of it, and it almost felt like it was part of the paragraph and not her her direct internal thoughts. So that those are just musings. Take it for what you will, take it, leave it, whatever you want to do with it. That's what my thought process was. We're acknowledging it and we're rolling on. Sam makes her way to Amanda. She looks down at her, knowing she had been tossing and turning all night, her earlier anxiety bleeding into restless dreams. Sam, on the other hand, had slept well for what felt like the first time in ages. Her mind, along with the entities residing within the crystal, had taken a back seat, finally letting her rest. The comfort, though short-lived, felt like a gift. Being home and Amanda's presence, the steady counterbalance she provided. Let's see. Okay, the comfort, though short-lived, felt like a gift. Being home and Amanda's presence, the steady counterbalance she provided. This sentence feels incomplete to me. Why is that? Why does it feel incomplete? It's reading really well, by the way. So, why does it feel incomplete? The comfort, though short-lived, felt like a gift. That sentence makes sense. Being home and Amanda's presence, the steady counterbalance she provided. Okay, I think what we need here is, okay, so we know Sam feels like she's feeling comfort and it feels like a gift, all right? And then this last sentence, being home and Amanda's presence makes her feel what? She enjoys the steady counterbalance she provided, or she's relishing the steady counterbalance she provides. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's a word missing in this text that is basically a sensation of gratitude, of joy, of relishing. We need, like, I guess, being home and Amanda's presence. I think she savored being home and both being home and Amanda's presence, the steady counterbalance, enjoying the steady counterbalance she provided. I'm not telling you to use those words. I'm telling you what I'm missing. So I'm trying to describe what it is that I'm missing here. Is it the verb? Are we missing a verb? I think that's what it is. Being home and Amanda's presence, the steady counterbalance she provided. So it doesn't flag it as like grammatically incorrect, but then I don't know if my Grammarly is on here. I don't know. And I don't know what I'm kind of just looking up here to see if it is. It's like on my computer, but it just it does whatever the heck it wants. Sometimes it shows up and won't leave me alone, and other times it's nowhere to be found. I could probably learn to control that, but I'm just not taking the time to do that. So I think we're missing that sensation. So let's see. I'm going to say notes and video so that I don't go on and repeat myself like a third and fourth time, and we're going to keep going. Sam brushes damp strands from Amanda's forehead, her chest tightening. She's carried that burden herself, and it's always heavier when no one else sees it. Amanda doesn't move as Sam checks her temperature. Can you tell me how long her temp has been this high? She asks the empty room, knowing the liveware can hear her. A monitor on the computer comes to life, the screensaver dissolving into a histogram of the night. Amanda's temperature rose gradually to 101.5 degrees, then held steady for the past few hours. She really did some upgrades. What else can you tell me? Sam asks, moving toward the keyboards. The screen fills with a full rundown of Amanda's vitals, starting from the moment the systems came back online. A prompt asks Sam if she'd like to see more. Sure. The screen fills with the dates spanning the past 3 months. Sam's eyes skim the data, the pattern falling into place like pieces of a puzzle she solved before. Amanda burns through the night and cools just as fast when she wakes, like a fever with a built-in timer. So, following the trend, this will pass. Not sensing she's in any danger, admittedly, we are out of sync. I'm assuming your assessment as well, since you didn't send me any notification this was ongoing. The screen blinks, dots appearing at the bottom. Then text displays one letter at a time. Results, modified, marked invalid, unable to transmit. She modified? Sam whispers, lowering her voice. Still have the original data? The system returns. No. A blinking prompt waits on the screen. Sam's fingers fly over the keyboard, digging for answers she already knows she won't like. The words display across the screen. Systemic failure. Organ by organ, Amanda is shutting down, and she's known it for months. So, I'm wondering, was she kind of immortal and, she's kind of lost her immortality? These women keep so many secrets. They have so many secrets. Okay. That leaves us with the liveware. Have you had time to interface with Otis? The screen blinks once, signaling confirmation. Did any of that or related materials breach your security in or out with a variance of, let's say, 20%? The system returns no results. Broaden it in increments of 5%. The system cycles through, expanding the search until it produces a handful of responses. Sam scrolls, cataloging every result. Each piece feels like a clue left just out of reach, a puzzle missing its final piece. Damn, not the source. Actually good, but that means something else. Her thoughts trail off as she turns the results over in her mind. The system returns a string of question marks. Sorry, thinking aloud. That's part of why I'm home early. If we act now, we risk tipping our hand that we are onto them. Favor? Keep this under wraps from Amanda. I have it in hand. Acknowledged proprietary trust, Sam, verification, Otis. Thank you. Keep an eye out just in case. She locked you down for a reason. Send her vitals history to my phone. A few seconds pass before her phone pings with a notification. Any changes, or if you find anything, send me an update. The system responds with quiet acknowledgement. Another prompt flashes. Override requested. Authorize? Can you tell me what you want me to override? Another monitor lights up, scrolling blocks of code across the screen. It's gibberish. No matter how long she stares, the code refuses to make sense. Sam exhales through her nose, frustration buzzing at the edges of her mind. Sorry, don't speak this particular dialect of geek. The system reorders the material, but it's still unreadable. Can you show me in another form? The screen blanks. A simple lock icon appears with a blinking message box. Access denied. Yeah, got that part. What are you being denied access to? The system responds with question marks. You can't tell me? That's troublesome. She glances at her watch. I'm going to be late for work. Is this urgent? A countdown clock appears, ticking down from just over 48 hours. Not much time. I'll deal with this when I get home. Amanda will be awake to translate. The system responds with another prompt. Authorization Samantha Clemens only. I'm the only one who can authorize the override? The same prompt repeats. Authorization Samantha Clemens only. Override? That does not bode well, especially with you using my full name. She leans closer. You know I won't go behind her back, especially not with you. The system continues prompting, then clears the screen. The code returns, this time in manageable blocks, allowing Sam to capture it piece by piece in her memory. Okay, I think I see where you're going with this. I got it. I'll talk to her about it, okay? The screen dims, returning to the screensaver. The lights in the room drop, except for the one near Amanda's bed, and the door lock clicks open. I'll take that as a yes. Sam writes a note and leaves it beside Amanda's bed, asking her to call when she wakes. She removes a couple of pills from the prescription bottle, placing them in an empty one and peeling off the label. As she reaches for the chip suspended in the jar, the familiar itch of danger sparks in her mind. Sam's hand hovers, tension winding through her muscles. Something is waiting, watching. She snatches a pair of tweezers and extracts the transmitter, water dripping from its edges. She shakes it dry, then drops it in another empty bottle with a quiet plink. This read really well. It read really well. I'm excited for you. That really read really nice. I enjoyed it. Like, nice read. Stuff is happening as always. Okay, as always. So, I don't know. I've mused a lot of things here. I've mused whether or not Amanda is. So basically, it looks like she's dying. But she's really, really old. I do know that. And so I kind of had that like immortal vibe to it. But so something's wrong with Amanda. Sam's going to work. She's this kind of here, when I saw this, authorization Samantha Clemens only, and am I the only one who can authorize the override? Well, when I see that, for a second I'm wondering, is there something that Sam herself did and doesn't remember doing? You know, like where basically that. She's done something and she doesn't remember doing it, and it was deliberate for a certain time kind of thing. Or if someone else has done something, or even Amanda, because a lot of times Amanda does sneaky things. And she keeps a lot to herself, and it's like getting information out of spies, but I mean, it's basically what they are. So it makes perfect sense. You're going to get a whole lot of what they want you to know and nothing else. And you get to muse over it. So Okay, this chapter read really well. I am actually going to end this video and immediately do one for chapter 11. But I'm keeping them separate so that they're easy for Crystal Community to find and watch without having them two different chapters in together. So we're just going to end here and I'm going to start right up again. So, guys, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time on Mystery Red Reads.